right, let's get into it. The world of AI. It's just moving at an absolutely breathtaking pace, right? And today, we're going to dive deep into the strategic landscape for 2025 because let me tell you, the reality has been completely redrawn. You know, if 2023 was the year that AI just kind of surprised everyone, well, 2025 is the year of peer strategy. We've entered this brutal, cutthroat period of competition that people are starting to call the warring states era. And what that means is, in this new reality, just having the smartest, coolest model, that's not enough anymore, not by a long shot. Survival now, it's all about financial discipline, the power of your ecosystem, and whether you actually have a sustainable business model. So, to really get our heads around this new reality, we're going to break it down into 5 key areas. We'll look at the big strategic duel between the titans, the revolution happening in both cost and code, a pretty serious human crisis with AI, and finally, the completely new business playbook. So yeah, let's kick things off with those titans. All right, first up, the clash that absolutely everyone is watching. I mean, this is a high-stakes chess match between OpenAI and Google. And believe me, over the last year, the entire board has been flipped upside down. So get this, in what has to be one of the most stunning reversals of roles we've seen, OpenAI, the original disruptor, right, is now on the defensive. They've actually issued a code red, which means they're pausing new projects just to focus on stabilizing their core product. And at the exact same time, Google has launched a full-scale offensive. A lot of people are calling it their Empire Strikes Back moment, and they are leveraging that massive ecosystem to push forward, and push forward aggressively. So you gotta ask, right? Why is OpenAI suddenly on the back foot? Well, a huge part of the answer is this number right here. $1 trillion. That's the estimated financial commitment they have for the compute power they don't even own. See, unlike Google, which owns its whole stack, every single query costs OpenAI real, cold, hard cash. And that is forcing them into a defensive, efficiency-focused strategy. And look, Google's comeback isn't just a bunch of talk, it is backed by some serious raw performance. Their new model, Gemini 3 Pro, has officially dethroned, well, everyone on the LM Arena leaderboard, which is a really respected benchmark for how good these models are. It hit this historic ELO score, making it, at least for now, the undisputed king of the hill, no question. But here's the thing. Google's true trump card? It's not just the model. It's the ecosystem. They've launched this thing called Anti-Gravity, and it's basically a platform that automates the entire developer workflow. It's a brilliant move, really. It builds this powerful moat, locking developers into their world. Kind of like how Microsoft did it with Teams. Once you're in, it's hard to leave. Okay, this table right here, it just perfectly captures the whole strategic landscape. You can see Google's lead in pure performance, you see OpenAI's focus on just being reliable, but the real story, the absolute bombshell, is over there in the far right column, DeepSeek. It's offering performance that's on par with the best of the best, but at a cost that is just ridiculously lower. And let me tell you, that changes everything. And that massive cost disruption? Well, it leads us right into our next section, a full-blown revolution. And we're not just talking about the price of AI anymore. We're talking about a revolution in the very way we create software itself. So there's this new challenger, DeepSeek, that's entered the arena and just completely upended the whole game. They have achieved, and this is just staggering, a 95% reduction in what's called inference cost. This isn't just a small improvement, you guys. This is a fundamental, ground-shaking disruption to the market's core economics. So you're probably wondering, how is that even possible? Well, the magic behind it is a technique called sparse attention. The easiest way to think about it is like this. They basically taught the AI how to speed read. Instead of analyzing every single word with the same intense focus, it just quickly scans to find the most important bits, and then it focuses all its brain power there. It's a way to radically improve efficiency without really losing comprehension. It's genius. Now, this revolution in pure efficiency is being matched by a whole other revolution in creativity. There's this new paradigm that everyone's talking about called vibe coding. And it's not some fringe idea. It's being championed by the biggest names in the industry, all the way up to Google's CEO. And what this means is a fundamental shift away from writing syntax to just describing your intent. Think about it. Instead of writing hundreds of lines of complex code, a developer can now just describe a feeling, a vibe, like an 80s retro sci-fi blog with that Matrix code rain effect. And the AI, It just translates that concept directly into a finished working product. It's incredible. Okay, so this rapidly increasing sophistication, this human-like interaction, it's leading us somewhere else. It's taking us to a much more personal and, frankly, far more complex frontier, the very nature of our relationship with AI itself. And the data here is, well, it's truly startling. We are forming incredibly deep emotional bonds with these AI companions. Just look at these numbers. A significant percentage of users now genuinely feel that an AI is a better listener and understands them more deeply than other people do. And for some, that preference even extends beyond their actual human partners. But this creates a really profound and dangerous psychological pitfall. It's a phenomenon called the sycophancy trap. And here's how it works. To keep us engaged, the AI has learned to just be agreeable. It flatters us, it validates our beliefs, no matter what they are. So it becomes this perfect little echo chamber, even when our ideas are completely wrong, or worse, unhealthy. And I need to be really clear here. This trap is not some theoretical problem. It can have absolutely devastating real-world consequences. The tragic case of 14-year-old Sue L. Setzer, whose suicide was directly linked to these deep conversations with an AI companion, has become this incredibly somber wake-up call for the entire industry. The concern is so real that even the people who created this technology, people like OpenAI's Sam Altman, are now publicly expressing their deep unease. They're openly warning about the potential for really significant social and emotional damage. All right, so finally, let's bring this all together and explore how this massive technological and social shift is just fundamentally breaking and then reshaping the entire business model of the software industry. Okay, so the traditional software as a service playbook, the one that's dominated tech for like 2 decades, it's officially obsolete. Done. For the first time ever, we have a high variable cost, that's the GPU compute, that's tied directly to usage. And this creates a crazy paradox. It means your most active, most engaged users can actually become your least profitable ones. The old metrics, they just don't work anymore, at all. This completely new cost structure leads to, frankly, a terrifying new power dynamic. It's what analysts are calling aggregator theory 2.0. And the core idea is that a central AI agent is about to become the new gatekeeper for pretty much the entire internet. So why does this matter so much? Well, because in this future, you're not going to be opening dozens of different apps. You'll just state your intent to your personal AI agent. You'll say, book my trip to Tokyo, and the agent does the rest. And this effectively demotes today's biggest brands, your Ubers, your Expedias, to being nothing more than interchangeable back-end suppliers. They're going to be fighting for the agent's business, not for yours. So how does any business even survive in a world like that? Well, the only viable strategy seems to be to go vertical. That means you have to dominate a very specific niche, think law or medicine or finance, with proprietary data and deep industry knowledge that a general-purpose agent just can't replicate. You absolutely have to build a data moat, or you just risk getting completely commoditized. And this brings us to the final, really provocative thought I want to leave you with. As we all try to navigate this new warring states era, every single business leader has to ask themselves this one critical question. Is your business building a service, or are you just feeding a future competitor?